My personal belief is that, when Josh DiMauro makes a quote like this exceeded our expectations, he ain't lying. I mean, Genie Plus has seen an amazing and incredible adoption, but it's been to the detriment of everybody else, involved.
Exactly.
I mean, the only one benefiting is Disney. What do you know? But no, I mean, it's just too accessible. And you see Disneyland Paris, they're wanting to do like a €90 thing where, it's going to be very similar to Genie Plus, and you can only imagine, that's the kind of, maybe the mindset and philosophy of this thing going forward. Right now, it's just. It's too many people can access it, and it really is playing havoc with all kinds of operational realities that these parks have to contend with. I mean, you're seeing lightning lanes, emissions going out the door, going across places that they never really envisioned because so many people are on the program. I think they do need to limit it, either a hard cap or make it inaccessible by a higher price point. I think that's. That's obvious.
They seem to want to get as many people on there as possible, and I'll tell you, it's working because my friend who went for my birthday, she hates Disney. I changed her mind. She just thinks it's okay now. That's my goal. But we're in line for Raider Springs Racers, right? And it really wasn't that long. It was like 60 minutes, but the line itself wasn't that long. But there was the times for several minutes. I'd say up to maybe nearly 20 minutes. We didn't move like a foot or an inch. And I said, but then the lightning lane, it was like 3:02, and then lightning was like 3:05. I'm like, oh, but look, Camille, for 3 minutes, you can just hop on over that line if you want to spend $12. She's like, yeah, let's do it. So it's working, but it's terrible. We paid lightning for Rise and I isn't that anyway, but Rise and Cars. I wasn't planning to do Cars, but we really were not moving. Like even I like lines. I don't mind lines. But even I was like, wait a second, this is a little too long. We're not I could be going backwards almost.
Well, I went through the same thing with my fiance a few weeks ago. We were in line for Smuggler's Run, and we were stuck in that line and not moving at all. Mm-hmm. And I turned to her and I'm like, did it break down? Like what's going on? But it really didn't, because they were letting the lightning lane people through. Mm-hmm. Like just they were only like they were zeroed in. Yeah, only on them, and they were just letting them through. And we were standing there for half an hour.
Kilometers over there. This is just lucrative customers coming down here.
I mean, and you guys aren't wrong. The ratios that I've been hearing. Previously it was like 80-1 or whatever. I'm hearing 100-1, 110-1, 120-1, 100 people before one person in the standby moves. I mean, that's a lot. That's not going to be pleasant.
And by the way, when we paid, it took to go out of line and go get on into our car. It took 5 minutes. We never stopped walking. I was like, wow. She's like, yeah, this is great. I'm like,
but if you really think about it, yes, it is one of those things where it's like, okay, because we now have to pay for individual attractions. Yes, for us, it stinks because we're so used to having that free fast pass option. For Disney, it's a gold mine. But if you really stop and you think that if you really want to have an enjoyable experience, that if you're already going to be forking out the money anyway, people pay $6 to $8 for one cup of coffee at Starbucks.
Right.
And it's like, if you're going to do that, it's going to go, in your system, in your bladder, you piss it out 15 minutes later, you might as well put out the $12 to go ride a ride.
No, you're right. They raised it up to the Universal Express, at least 75, something where, if you really, that way you get what you pay for. You're not standing
right.
in the line.
Right.
And it's interesting.
You can go on Universal Express, you can do the shows, you can do the rides, you just walk right in for the most part.
But now when you mention about the Universal Express, because I actually had some issues with that as far as over here in Orlando. Oh, yeah, because I was getting the package and I thought I'll just add that on to my package. It would have cost an extra $3,000 to add the Express for a week.
Oh, man.
That is like a whole nother package that I could have spent at Walt Disney World.
That is a lot.
So when people say, and it can benefit you, right. But they also told me that Hagrid's and Velocicoaster wasn't even part of that. And I'm like, oh, hell, if I'm going to do that, I might as well should just stand in the regular basic line.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. And that's the thing that I've been saying all along is that when you take a microscope to the other companies, like because everyone's got zeroed in on Disney. Everyone's watching them like a hawk. But when you do the same, when you apply the same kind of scrutiny to Universal, they're not that much different, you guys. Comcast is a mega multinational conglomerate. They're just as fucking greedy as Disney. They're not your friend. They're not trying to like just do you a charity. They're just as much in it for the money as Disney. And like George mentioned it, they're honestly the same, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
so I will say to all you listening and watching out there, for every specialty Starbucks drink that you buy, for each boba ball that you suck through your paper straw, just think that's one attraction down that you could have been riding at Disney.
Right.
But here's the thing,
like Disney is kind of like DC, where they all get the hate and the bashing, and then Marvel is like all the other places where they, it's okay. Universal, give them a pass. It's okay. Marvel, just give them a pass. Even though they made you the same things, it's kind of funny that way.
Well, that's the thing too. And here's the thing too. As a local, I'm not going to pay for Lightning Lane. Like I'm a big Disney shill, right? I'll admit it. But I'm not going to pay to go on any attraction. I really don't care. I go to the park all the time. I can skip Big Thunder or Rise of the Resistance this visit. I don't really care. Now, if I'm with people that are like doing like a once in a lifetime visit, oh yeah, I'm gonna pay for Rise of the Resistance. I'll just shell up $20. Why not? You know, fuck it. But yeah, it all depends on your experience. You know, like all of us here are pretty like frequent visitors. So for us, it doesn't really feel worth it. But man, for that once in a lifetime, you're coming from Japan and it's your one time to go to Disneyland. Yeah, you're going to pay it. Why not?
I mean, I've talked about it before, but I mean, listen, you know, when you have an annual pass and you're spreading that out through a whole year or whatever, or, you know, whatever your arrangement might be, that doesn't necessarily hit you the same way as if you're paying per ticket per day or whatever. And now you're talking about, hey, it's 100, 150 just to walk in the door. You're talking about maybe $15 per hour average just to stand in the park. So it's like, well, when you're offered, hey, skip the line for $20, it's like, well, now I'm making money kind of thing, right? So it's, it's a different economic investment when you're looking at it from that standpoint versus annual pass holder. And, you know, that's, for some people, that makes a lot of sense.
Now, I do know that there are certain, I don't know if they still exist today, there are certain amusement parks that require that you have to buy individial tickets for specific attractions, or I should say, buy a number of tickets. And if you buy, just to say, 20 tickets, and there's a specific ride that says, okay, for 6 tickets, you can ride this. So you give them 6 tickets out of the 20, or this requires 2 tickets to ride this. So it's it does. Like Vash is like looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, they have existed. I don't know if they still exist today.
You're talking about like a state fair?